So you got a load of laundry going, and then bam, it stops. The lights are flashing, and you see that dreaded code F21. I know that feeling. Your heart sinks a little, right? You're already thinking this is going to be an expensive repair call. Well, just hang on a second, because in the next 2 minutes, we are going to break down what that F21 error really means. And I'm telling you, the fix is probably sitting in your laundry room right now, and it's not going to cost you a thing.
You see, when that F21 code flashes, your washer is literally trying to talk to you. This isn't just some random broken signal. Nope, it's a very specific message about a very particular problem. So our first job is to, well, learn its language.
And here's the translation. The official name for the F21 error is a Suds detection system alert. Okay, but what does that mean in plain English? It means your machine is yelling, "Help! There is way too much foam in here." These suds get so thick and dense, they basically create a kind of quicksand for your clothes, and the machine just can't wash, spin, or drain properly.
So that brings us to the real Suds story. And trust me, it's probably not what you're thinking. It's so easy to jump to the conclusion that a part has failed, but with this error, the real culprit is almost never a broken component. The data tells a much, much different story. And here it is, check this out. The data shows that in a staggering 99% of cases, the F21 error is caused by a simple issue with, you guessed it, detergent. Only 1% of the time is it an actual mechanical fault. And you know what? This is fantastic news. It means the solution is in your hands, not a repair person's.
So you might be wondering, how does the washer even know? Well, it's actually pretty smart. The motor's control board is constantly feeling how much effort it takes to turn the drum. When that drum is full of thick, heavy suds instead of just water and clothes, it creates a ton of drag. The motor feels that resistance, and the control board says, "Whoa, hang on, something's not right here." And it throws up that F21 alert to protect itself from burning out.
Okay, enough with the theory. Your washer is full of suds, that light is still blinking, and you want it fixed. Let's get right into the immediate action plan to clear that error right now. And the best part? You won't need a single tool.
Here is your 3-step immediate fix. First, just press cancel or pause and walk away. I mean it. Let the machine sit for an hour, maybe 2. This gives those suds time to just naturally break down. Step 2, and this is super important, unplug the washer from the wall for a full 5 minutes. This does a hard reset on the main control board. And finally, step 3, plug it back in and run an empty rinse and spin cycle. No clothes, and please, absolutely no more detergent. This is all about flushing out what's left.
All right, so the immediate crisis is over. But if we just stop here, you're probably going to be dealing with this again next week. So now let's talk about the permanent fix. Let's find the real culprit and fix it for good.
So, the number one cause, the big one, is this. You absolutely must be using high-efficiency or HE detergent. It's made specifically to be low sudsing for these modern machines. Using regular, old-school detergent in a front loader is basically like putting diesel in a gasoline car. It just doesn't work. It will create a mountain of foam and trigger that F21 error every single time. This is, without a doubt, the number one mistake people make. And that leads us right into the second biggest mistake, using way too much of it. Even with the right HE soap, you need a surprisingly tiny amount. For a normal load of laundry, you should use no more than 2 tablespoons. That is it. This stuff is super concentrated. Pouring in more doesn't get your clothes any cleaner. It just creates the exact sudsy problem we're trying to solve.
And let's cover a few other common traps. If you use pods, throw them directly into the drum before you put the clothes in. Never put them in the little dispenser drawer. Got a really tough stain? Pre-treat it directly on the fabric instead of trying to overcompensate by adding more soap to the main wash. And finally, just do a quick check of your laundry shelf. Make sure an old bottle of non-HE detergent hasn't snuck its way back into your routine. Now, to really get rid of all that built-up soap gunk from past washes, you've got to run a cleaning cycle. First, make sure the machine is completely empty. Then set it to the hottest, longest cycle you've got. A lot of washers have a dedicated clean washer cycle. Then add a cleaning agent like a fresh, or here's my favorite trick, just pour 2 cups of plain white vinegar right into the drum. After the cycle's done, take a rag and give the rubber door seal and the dispenser drawer a quick wipe down. Okay, one last spot to check, the drain pump filter. Look for a little access door at the very bottom front of your machine. Pro tip, put a towel down before you open it, because a little water is going to come out. Go ahead and unscrew the cap and clear out whatever you find in there. Lint, coins, hairpins, you name it. Anything that blocks this filter can slow down draining and make a suds problem even worse. Once it's clean, just screw that cap back on, nice and tight. So, we have cleared the error, we've deep cleaned the machine.
Now for the easy part. Let's lock in a few simple habits to make sure that F21 error stays away for good.
This is it, your 4-point prevention checklist. It is so simple. 1. Use HE detergent and only HE detergent. 2. Measure it carefully every single time. Remember, less is more. 3. Run one of those cleaning cycles about once a month. And 4. When you're done with your laundry, just leave the door and the little dispenser drawer slightly open. That airflow is key to preventing gunk and musty smells.
You know, if you follow that simple checklist, it leads to a whole new way of thinking about this stuff. It's a simple idea I like to call the 99% rule. I want you to let this sink in for a second. In 99% of cases, F21 is not a mechanical failure. It is a maintenance and usage error. If you remember just one thing from all this, let it be that. The problem isn't the machine, it's what we're putting in the machine.
So from now on, I want you to stop seeing that F21 code as this scary alarm bell that signals an expensive breakdown. See it for what it actually is, a helpful little maintenance reminder. It's just your washer politely tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, could you maybe check the soap situation? And I could probably use a cleaning cycle when you have a minute.
And all of this leaves us with one final, really powerful question. The next time you, or a friend, or a family member sees an error code on their washer, before anyone even thinks about picking up the phone to call for a repair, just ask this simple question. Have you checked your detergent? Chances are that one question will save you a whole lot of time, money, and stress.